Welcome CSC 230 to part 3 of our hero page exercise. Now you could be working on this on your own, but I wanted to start working through it with you a little bit just in case you needed some help just to get you started, and also just to give me some more experience with it because I did it fairly quickly, and maybe I could help describe some things and help you understand some things as I go through it, and plus I'll understand what you're going through as you start to work on it. So what I have here is my screenshot so I can kind of see what we're getting at. And I have my styles all ready to go, and I have my CSS tutorial from W3 Schools, and right away I'm going to go down to, I think, advanced CSS background images, backgrounds, and I think they have a hero image somewhere down here, hero image. So I'm going to go into the try it yourself here and check it out. Also back in Replit, I'm going to open this up in a new window and see what I have so far, and then I'll go back here and I'll just start copying some code. So I have background URL, I have background size cover, I have position relative, I have a height of 500 pixels, and we'll kind of work with that so far. So let me copy that, and I'll put that here. I'll put everything back and then tab it myself, just so it looks nice and neat. So I'll highlight all of this stuff and just hit tab. I'll move this over, I don't need this. They have a couple different background things here. You could have separate properties here, but it looks like they have the background, the URL, the no repeat, and the center all together. And you could change that and have position and have background repeat. Actually, let's go back here and look at this stuff for background images, because we're just seeing some of this here. Here they have background repeat, you could put no repeat, so there's different ways you can do this instead of putting them all together. All this stuff is here, and they just have it kind of bundled together under background, which you could do with other properties as well. So anyway, I'll leave that like it is for now, that's fine, and I'll see what it does. Go here, refresh it. Well, it's not going to do anything because we don't have the right image. I'm not using imageman.jpg, I'm actually using landscapehero.jpg, and it's in an image folder. So I'm going to put image slash, and I'll do landscape-hero.jpg, and we'll see how that works so far. Hey, we got something. There, that works. So that works. We got our hero image, and it's at 500 pixels. And you could change things here. You can just put top here and see what happens. And I can't tell what happened. I didn't look at the before and after. Let me go back and put it center. See if it changes this time. See if the picture changes. So I got this little red bush up there. Oh yeah, it does. So I actually like it top. Although this shows more of the green grass if you want. When it has center, or if you have top, it kind of pushes it up a little bit more. So just kind of exploring the differences here. Now obviously this thing's going to be that center thing, but that looks okay. You could even have it 600 pixels if you want a little bit more. You could make it 600 and see what that looks like. What happened there? I don't know what happened. Repeat, top. Oh, there we go. I guess it was just having a problem rendering. Let me try 600 again. I don't know why it did that. Oh, there we go. I don't know, it just had a problem rendering. That's our hero image, so we're doing okay. I'll go back here to the tried editor, and I'll try my hero text, and I'll copy all this stuff here. And we're going to break this down a little bit more, but we could use this for now. And here's hero text. I'll put everything in here. I'll just go back to the margin, paste it, and I'll tab it over myself. Now this stuff we don't want to mess with because this is kind of set up so that it automatically centers up and down and right and left. And I tried different ways, but this seemed to work okay. So let me just tab it over. And we have text align center, position absolute. We'll see how that works. Okay, so that put that in the middle. That's actually what we want. We just don't have this styled yet, but that looks okay. And we could look at this just to get an idea. So that's really big. I was using Arial black. This is Arial, and this is Arial in our button. So we could style our button. We could style our hero text, and let's do a font family. And we'll do Arial black. Now that's two words, so we're going to put it together. And if we don't have Arial black, I'll use Arial. And if we don't have Arial, we should be okay. I'm just going to do sans serif. Everybody should have Arial, so that should work out okay. So I'm going to use that. And then here, I'm just going to use Arial. And everybody should have Arial. You could put Helvetica, but I don't know if that's really necessary. Everybody has Arial. We could even use the font family for everything in there, but I'll throw this in here. The button, I don't think we have to change. You know what we could do? We could do this, take that out of here, and put it in hero text. That way, everything in hero text will be Arial, Helvetica, sans serif, unless we change it. So that way, we don't even have to put the paragraph. That means this will override that one because it's H1 inside there. And then we're going to do a font size. And I don't remember what I did, but if we wanted something like double the size, let's try 4 rem. Now remember, rem is root, so we could do root. I'm just going to use rems here. And that should be quadruple the size of its normal because it's in that big area there. So let's see what that looks like. This should be okay, that should be okay. We should have some spacing issues, but let's try it out. Okay, that looks okay, maybe even bigger. That could be really big. That's 4M. Let's try 6 rem. That would be 6 times 16. That looks pretty good. And if you notice, we could have this line height tightened up because it's too far apart for two words like that. So for a headline like that, we want them closer together. And I'll do a line height of maybe like 90%. See what that looks like. And that brings it nice and tight. That looks pretty good. Now it brings this here, so we're gonna have to put like a padding or margin top on these things to get these things bigger here. And we also have to change the size there. So we'll go font size on, we'll leave the hero text. That looks pretty good. The only thing we need there is text shadow. And if you want to throw in a text shadow, we can do text shadow. And you might be like, where's text shadow? And we'll go over here and CSS shadows. And they have a text shadow. And I'll go down because I know there's a couple here. You can put basically the X offset, the Y offset, and then basically the blur. You could even do an alpha. So I'm just going to copy these. Well, we don't have to copy anything really. We just have to know to put them in. So what I'll do is I'll just put, if we're using numbers, we should put pixels in there. So I'll do 6 pix over 6 pix down, and then I'll blur it maybe like 12 pixels. We'll see how that looks because it's really big. And for color, we could do, here's what you could do too. If you want to take down the opacity, you could do RGBA, and then in parentheses, you can put like RGB colors. So if it's black, you could put 0, 0, 0, that's black. And then for the fourth one, the A, you could put like 0.5. So that would be 50% black. And it would be over 6, down 6, and 12 pixel blur. Let's see what that looks like. It looks pretty good. So that works okay. If you want it a little darker, make it like 0.7 or something. And make that a little bit darker. Maybe the blur's too much. You want to tighten up the blur a little, make it 10. And that'll tighten the blur a little bit. And that doesn't look bad. Nice little heading there. Now this has to get bigger and move down, and this has to get bigger and move down. So let's go to the hero text. Let's make it bigger. I'll put font size, and I'd say at least 2 rem, and we're using root M's here, which basically means it's always using 16 if that's the default. And remember, if you want to change the default, you could always use HTML and put a font size of like 18 in it. That could be the base that it goes from, but we'll do that first. Font size 2 rem, and you could make it bold if you want because we're just using Arial, so you could do font weight, and you could just put bold. I know you could put in numbers, but you could just put bold in there. And we're probably going to have to use like a margin top. So let me put margin top. You could use padding top, you could use margin top, just be consistent. And I'm just going to put 1 rem for now, 16 pixels, and see what it looks like. and refresh it. That's a little too big, and I don't even know if I need it bold, but actually not too bad. I'm going to put 1.2 rem here. Font size probably 1.5, and I think I'm going to get rid of the bold. I don't think it needs to be bold. Get a quote of more info. That's not bad. I'll probably do a little more margin top. Let me try 1.5. And that's okay. And now we got to work on our button. And remember, if you want to work on your button, go to CSS buttons. CSS buttons. So we could check out some styling for buttons, and there's a lot of stuff in here to use. Go for something that looks kind of what it looks like. So we have border radius we want to throw in here, and we have all this kind of stuff in here. So let's kind of let's copy all of this. Now we don't have to worry about inline block or anything like that right now, but let's copy a whole bunch of these things here, and we'll throw them in there and see what it looks like. And then we'll take a break, and then we'll do another part in another video. So I'm going to bring this back. Let me see if I could shift tab these. I don't know if this will go back. Shift tab. Okay. And then I'll just tab everything over. So background color, that's not bad. There's a green in here. Maybe I'll just make it a light green. And we have border. I think I used a border, and you can use border. Remember, you have to use border thickness, border style, so you could use solid. And I don't think you use commas. You could use pixels, like 4 pix, and then you could put green, and then I'll make it a real dark green, like something like that. And I'll see what that looks like. Color's white. Now that would be the color inside the button. Let me look at this again. Oh, I had green in there. So you could use green in there. So I wouldn't have this. I could use, well, I could just use green. And I could make it a little darker. Padding, I'm not sure yet. Text align center, text decoration, none. I don't think it matters because we're not really doing a link here. Display inline block, I don't think that matters either. And font size, we'll probably use rems here, so maybe I'll do 2 rem. See what that looks like. That's probably too big, but let's just see what we have here. We have padding up and down is 15, and left and right is 36. So let's just see what our button looks like here. Whoa, gigantic button. Yeah, that's too big. I'll make that a little bit smaller, and probably don't need that much. We'll try to stick with rems here. So maybe padding, we'll do 1 rem and then 2 rem. That's kind of similar to what it is, but that's still probably too big. And round corners, that's right, CSS button round corners. Where was round corners? That was down here. That was border radius. I think I did 12 pixels, so I'll copy that. Border radius, 12 pixels, maybe we'll even do more. And I'll do it right after background. Border radius, 12 pixels. Let's see what the button looks like. Not bad, a little harsh. Could probably go lighter with that color, and then it needs to get moved down, and probably the padding could be less. So I'm gonna go like 0.8, and then maybe 1.5. And maybe 1.4 in the font size. Just seems a little big. And then we could always do a margin top here. Let's try 1 rem for now. And again, that's about 16 pixels. So let's see what this looks like. Not bad. And looking at that, seems a little, still a little big, but not bad. You could even put a drop shadow on this thing, but I think I'm gonna lighten up that color, maybe a little more yellow in it, and maybe, I don't know, the border looks a little harsh. Maybe I'll take the border down a little. So the border is 4 pix. Maybe I'll take it down to 3. And the solid color, maybe it's a little on the dark side. And padding, I'll go down even a little more on padding. And that's not too bad. Although I didn't change the color. This color, I wanted to get a little more in kind of the yellow realm a little. So I'll go a little in there, see how that looks. And refresh it. And I didn't do a hover state yet, so let's do a hover state. And all we have to do for the hover state is probably just the background color. So I'll copy this and put this here in the hover state, and I'll just change that and make it a little darker. and see how that looks. There we go. Have to refresh it again. That's not bad. You can go white too. You could even go lighter. I think that's what I did on the other one. I think I went lighter on here. I think I kind of went almost kind of pure white. And we'll see how that looks. You could refresh it again. And that looks better. I like the white. And that's not too bad. So we're doing okay. We're doing okay here. This is the way it should look. So that wasn't that hard using some of the resources we have. So we have our hero image, which wasn't that bad. Hero text, hero H1, hero P, hero text button, and we just borrowed some stuff from W3 Schools. So then we're going to work on the Flex container. So next we're going to be working on this kind of stuff down here. So I'll do that in the next part, which I guess will be part 4 since this is part 3. So anyway, hopefully that helped you out if you were needing some help with this or struggling through it. And maybe you'll see something here that I did. It doesn't mean you have to copy everything I do. You could kind of make it into yours a little bit more. And we'll see you on the next video where I'll kind of work with that text a little bit. But we already did Flex stuff, so that shouldn't be too bad. This was probably the hardest part here. Maybe the buttons will need some more review when you do that, but we're doing okay. So we got that going. That's a nice looking hero page so far. We just got to work on the rest. So we'll see you in the next video.